Do you actually show your dog you love them every day? You probably think you do, but here's what nobody tells you. Most of the ways we show love to our dogs mean absolutely nothing to them. In fact, some of the things you do daily thinking you're being a great owner might actually be pushing your dog further away. These 7 things take less than a minute each. But once you start doing them, your dog won't just trust you. They'll genuinely love you back. Let's start with the one most people get completely wrong. Talk to your dog as if you're talking to a human baby. Ever noticed how your voice changes the second you talk to your dog? That high, soft, slightly ridiculous tone you'd never use in public, most people feel embarrassed about it. But here's the thing, science says you should be doing it even more. An MRI study found that dogs' brains respond significantly louder and more positively to dog-directed speech. When owners spoke in their normal adult voice, the dogs barely reacted. But the moment they switched to that sweet, exaggerated tone, their dogs perked up their ears, perked up their heads, tilted, and their tails started thumping. That means your dog isn't just hearing noise, they're recognizing emotional safety, and it only clicks when you speak to them the way you'd speak to someone you genuinely adore. So every single day when you walk past your dog, when you feed them, say anything. It doesn't matter what the words are, what matters is the pitch and the tone. Soft, high, and warm, that voice tells your dog you're safe with me in a way nothing else can. And if you think this is powerful, wait until we get to number 7, because there's one spot on your dog's body that triggers a chemical reaction deeper than voice ever could. This 3-second look away makes your dog feel safe and removes all anxiety. Have you ever caught your dog staring at you and then they immediately look down or turn their head? Most people think their dog is just being distracted or cute. They're not. In the canine world. That head turn is a highly calculated calming signal. Canine behaviorists found that dogs use these gestures specifically to prevent conflict. Here's what makes this a daily game changer. Most of us stare at our dogs with intense, unblinking eyes because we admire them, but in dog language, direct, unblinking eye contact from a larger predator is a challenge. It's confrontational and it signals dominance or a potential threat. So every time you lock eyes with your dog and don't look away, you might be sending the exact opposite message. Make this part of your routine every morning and every evening whenever your dog meets your eyes. Look them in the eyes for exactly 2 seconds. Give a soft, relaxed blink and then gently turn your head to a dog. This 3-second gesture reads, "As I see you and I am completely safe." You will literally see your dog's shoulders drop and hear them let out a deep canine sigh. And hey, if any of this is making you look at your dog differently right now, hit that like button and subscribe. That's how we get these videos to more dog owners who want to love their dogs the right way. Most owners bore their dogs without knowing. Have you ever thrown a ball for your dog and after 2 rounds they just sit next to it? Or maybe you wave a toy in front of their nose and they just look at you like you're embarrassing yourself. That's not your dog being lazy or stubborn. That's your dog being bored out of their mind because you are skipping their genetic coding. Dogs are hardwired hunters and predatory scavengers. Their brains are built to stalk, chase, pounce, grab, bite, and kill. Bite. But when you just blindly throw a fetch toy over and over, you're making play predictable and robotic. The trick is to make the toy act like actual prey to activate their brain. Drag it away from your dog, not toward them, and let it hide behind a corner. Make it freeze, then suddenly explode into movement in unpredictable bursts. When your dog crouches low and their focus becomes laser sharp, that's when you know you've activated something primal. A dog who gets a real mentally stimulating hunt every day doesn't just stay physically healthy, they become calmer, less destructive, and more bonded to the person who gives them that experience. You become the source of their deepest instinct being fulfilled. 5 to 10 minutes a day of intentional play is all it takes. Stop shaking the toy like a chore and start moving it like something worth catching. Your dog will never look at you the same way. Just sit next to your dog and watch what happens through passive bonding. What if the most powerful thing you could do for your dog every day was absolutely nothing? Most owners think bonding means petting, playing, or constantly giving commands. So when they sit on the couch and their dog is across the room, they feel like nothing is happening. But something huge is happening because your dog is engaging in social facilitation. In a Wolf pack, the vast majority of their bond is built during shared resting hours. They don't constantly interact, they simply share space and exist together. When your dog chooses to lie down in the same room as you, they are paying You the highest compliment they are saying, your presence makes me feel secure enough to let my guard down when you sit near your dog without reaching for them or calling their name. You remove all social pressure. You'll start noticing something. If you do this daily without forcing interaction, at first, your dog might keep their distance, but over time that distance gets smaller. They'll move to the same couch, then right next to you, and lean their weight against you, not because you asked or commanded them to, but because they chose you. So tomorrow, try it. Sit down, read a book, scroll your phone, and let your dog exist near you with zero pressure. Never touch your dog before doing the 3-second canine handshake. How do you greet your dog when you walk into a room or come home? Do you just bend straight over them, reach your hands out, and start scratching their head? If so, you're skipping a vital step of canine etiquette and causing them micro-stress. Dogs don't process the world through sight first, they process it through scent. Every single interaction between civilized dogs starts with an exchange of chemical data. When two dogs meet, they circle and sniff each other, which is basically a canine handshake. Now think about what happens when you skip that and go straight for a top head scratch. Bending directly over a dog's head and reaching from above is a classic dominance posture. To your dog, it can feel incredibly abrupt, claustrophobic, and jarring. Here's the daily habit you need to adopt starting today. Every single time you're about to pet your dog, extend one hand with your knuckles facing up first. Hold it low at chest level, a few inches from their nose, and let them come to it. Let them sniff your hand for 2 seconds to read where you've been and what your mood is. When they rub their muzzle against your hand or soften their eyes, that's your green light. That's your dog saying, okay, the handshake is complete and I'm ready for your touch. Stop picking up or disturbing your sleeping dog right now. Can you honestly say you've never scooped up your sleeping dog just because they look too cute to resist? We've all done it when they are curled up in that perfect little ball looking peaceful. But what feels like love to you triggers an immediate survival mechanism in your dog. Dogs spend 12 to 14 hours a day sleeping to regulate their nervous system and process stress. Deep REM sleep specifically is when your dog feels the most vulnerable, and their guard is completely down. When you abruptly startle, touch, or lift a dog in deep sleep, you trigger the startle reflex. Their heart rate instantly spikes, cortisol floods their bloodstream, and their primitive brain thinks they are under attack. Do this enough times, and you'll notice a subtle shift in their behavior. Your dog will stop sleeping on their comfortable bed next to you in the open. They will start seeking out hard to reach places under the table, behind the couch, or inside closets. They are protecting their sleep from the one person who keeps interrupting it. The daily habit here is the simplest one. So when your dog is asleep, protect their peace and walk past them. One spot on their body unlocks everything and releases instant oxytocin. Remember at the beginning when I said there's one spot that triggers something deeper than your voice? This is it, and once you know this, you'll never pet your dog the same way again. When dogs engage in social grooming and alluring, they focus on highly specific zones. The absolute holy grail for a dog is the chest, the base of the neck, and the groove behind their ears. These areas are dense with nerve endings that communicate safety and mirror how mother dogs soothe puppies. Most owners tend to pat the top of a dog's head, which actually blocks their vision and feels annoying. If you want to trigger a massive chemical bond, place both of your hands on the sides of their chest or behind their ears. Don't pat or rub hard. Use slow, firm, circular strokes, applying gentle, repetitive pressure. Watch what happens as your dog's eyes go heavy and half closed while they pour their entire body weight into your hands. That physical leaning releases oxytocin in both of your brains simultaneously. It lowers their blood pressure, stops their mind from racing, and signals to their genetic core that they are family.